Welcome to Sami's Spiritual Secrets, where self-love meets discipline, growth is divine, and wellness is a lifestyle designed for your soul, not the standards. I'm your host, Sami Ruse, bringing you heart-healing truths, spiritual downloads, fitness tips, and aligned conversations to help you become your most confident, radiant, high vibrational self. Tune in and let's rise together. Hello. Welcome back to Sami's Spiritual Secrets, hanging out with your favorite spiritual fitness guide. I'm so excited to be here because today I want to just give a major shout out to every single soul in my life who has come, who has gone, who is here right now, and the friendships, the relationships that have just come into my life, because I think a lot of times we see people as forever, but everyone is really just a mirror of ourselves and is teaching us something about ourselves, the world, other people. And when you can find so much gratitude for just the time that you have with people, it makes it even that much more meaningful. It allows things like forgiveness, compassion, true relationships and friendships. And that's something I really want to talk about on the podcast today, because I just feel so grateful. Looking back a year from now, I was craving community. I was living here and I really appreciated the relationships that I had built, but I wanted even more. I wanted true friendships that I could count on, that I could ask favors for, like, hey, would you mind coming and lifting Nala's dog food because I just can't with my back, and them coming over the next day and doing so. Or, I drop my meal prep and they bring me meal prep literally an hour later, and we do a vision board party, just me and my girl by the pool. I had prayed so hard for these friendships, and something that I've really been thinking about is how do I maintain them? And I think it's one thing to pray and to want and to have these sort of relationships in your life, but I wanted to tell you how I've been watering them, because that is actually what makes or breaks a true friendship. You can connect with anyone. Something my client said at yoga in the park this weekend was, Sami, obviously you're going to love everybody and everybody's going to love you because you're fun. You have a good time. So you have a good time with everybody. But when it comes to your partner, when it comes to the people in your life, make sure that they're bringing just as much to the table and that they are matching your fun, matching your energy. And I was like, girl, you are so fucking wise. I love you. And it just really made me think, I want to be that person for my friends in my life too. And sometimes we just assume that everything should just be 100% organic, which it should, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to put effort in. I listen to Ed Mylett's podcast, and something that he does very regularly is he will reach out to somebody he loves every morning and just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. Hey, I noticed that you were doing this, and this is something I really wanted to compliment you on. And saying something that they're actually doing, being active in their lives. I actually did this with one of my new confident babes. She joined the collective, and I messaged her. I was like, hey girl, I just wanted to say, since you've joined, I really have just loved watching your content. I know that you do a lot of yoga. She's been saying yes to a lot more opportunities. She's been showing up for the gym. She has been showing her meals. And I was like, sis, I am so proud of you. I'm really enjoying your content. And yeah, thank you so much for all that you do. And this is something that I really try to do with my clients, with my friends. I even texted my dad earlier today before recording this podcast. I had 5 minutes before lunch and I was thinking of him, and I just sent him a message. I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking of you. I miss you today. I hope you're having a good midweek. And he was like, Sami, this literally made my entire day. I miss you so much too. And it was just a moment. I gave myself a big hug, and it literally took me 2 seconds, but I got to hear the smile over his text. I sent him a little selfie with me and a little half heart and my First Form water bottle, because I was just chilling, doing some work. And he was like, your smile lights up my life. And I was like, oh my God, my dad is literally just the best. I'm literally so blessed. But, I make sure to set that intention to water those relationships, because that is really how you give and you receive love. I was talking to one of my friends earlier. We were talking about mirrors. And, if you listen to the podcast, I talk about how people are a reflection and a mirror of us in some way, shape, or form all of the time. So sometimes people feel that pouring into your friendships or into your relationships is going to be a quote unquote waste of energy or you're giving it out too much, which I'm going to tell you like how you can call it back in. But what I've found is that the more love I give, the more love I receive. Like before I had sent some of these messages at different times when my intuition told me to, I was feeling tired, I was on my walk, and maybe I wasn't feeling as motivated. When I texted my dad, it was because my back was kind of hurting and I was just like, like I wish I could have your hug right now. And then him responding back to me actually gave me so much energy. It's 333 as I say this, and I ended up getting so much done for work. I'm feeling a little bit better, and I was just like, oh, thank God I reached out to somebody I loved. And it was really from a place of like, I just am thinking of you, I love you, I just want to share love. But it ended up coming right back to me because he was a mirror of that. Now, it's important to do this for the people in your life. It's not selfless, it's not selfish, like it's actually just true energy and true connection. Now, one thing that you can do to kind of call your power back is every single night when you do your shower cleanse or a night meditation or your night routine, just set an intention that you call all of your power back to yourself. This is something that I was actually learned from a spiritual mentor and my biological father, because I used to tell my clients all the time, like, oh, I'm just sending you so much love, I'm thinking of you, like, have the best day. And like I genuinely meant it. And I would say that to my friends. I would say that to people just walking on the street, being like, oh, I'm giving you so much love, I'm praying for you. And please do that. I think I know that is truly how we are going to change the world and change the collective. However, I would go to sleep absolutely exhausted, and I was like, I just don't feel like myself. Like, I feel so tired and so drained. And I remember my mentor was like, well, Sami, like, I see you and I hear you say this all the time. Like, do you cut cords? Do you call that power back to you? And I was like, no, I do my cleansing shower. And, it's just not the same intention. And she reminded me that, like, with the universe, with God, you gotta be really clear. So something I like to do is every single night, I now just have this intention where when I'm doing my night routine in some way, shape, or form, I'm setting the intention to cut any cords that just are not serving me or not for my greatest and highest vibration. And I call all of my power, I call all of my energy back to me. And that way I'm going to sleep with a full cup of energy. All of my power is mine. And then I wake up with that full cup of energy. So I'm able to go be a little Barbie, a little lighthouse, a little fairy all over again, being like, I love you. And I made an entire post about this, but I feel like loving so deeply and loving so hard is so underrated. Of course, it is going to weed out the people that are just not used to it and don't really want that, and where your energy, like, they just can't handle it. But the people who love you and can match that energy, it is unlike any friendship and any just exchange that I've ever had before. And I'm so grateful. Like, I truly believe that me sending the extra audio, me saying I love you every single time I leave. One of my friends literally was like, Sami, I love your audios because you tell me I'm pretty and you tell me you love me every time. And I responded back to her. And she was one of my friends that was in the car accident with me. And I was like, girl, after our car accident, I will never not. Like, I am going to love you so hard because I don't know if that's the last time I'm going to say it. And of course, that's such a like, what kind of way to think? But when you have something like that experience or you've gone through true hardship, you get it and you don't take things for granted. And I feel like the biggest difference from like me trying to have friendships in like middle school and high school and college compared to like my true ride or die friendships now that are like calling me for an hour and they're always checking in to see when I'm at and where I'm at for 75 hard, and they're helping me with anything that I need. They're always asking about Confident AF. They're reposting my shit literally all of the time. Like, true ride or die friendships and connections, it comes because I am so open to just love. I am so open to just be myself, be authentic. And it's like, either love me or don't have me in your life. But like, I am going to want the best for you. I'm literally going to tell you I reject that. If you ever talk bad about yourself, I'm always going to be straight up with you. You know exactly who I am. Like, there's no questions. There's no if, ands, or buts, like, and that's who I like to be for people. And it looks different for everyone, but I like to just hold space for my friends, and I like to show them how much I care about them verbally with a lot of the examples that I've given, but also just physically and energetically too. Sometimes people literally just need somebody to talk to. They don't need you to give their opinion. Maybe they could use a pep talk at the end, but something I've learned, especially being a yoga teacher and a coach, is that not everybody has somebody where they are asked about themselves. They're given permission to talk about things that they don't really talk about often. They can feel like they aren't being judged. It's a judgment-free zone. They can feel vulnerable. And when you feel vulnerable, you still can open up, but that might feel a little uncomfortable. And I just like to allow my friends to come to me in their own space, in their own time. I mean, I'm not a how is the weather type girl, and that's not for everybody. But for me, like, I want to know about you. I want to support you. I'm going to ask you, what do you need from me right now? I'm going to sit there while you cry, and I'm going to hold your hand, and I'm going to give you the biggest hug ever, and I'm going to tell you that you can get through this. And when you're saying something negative, I'm going to be like, like, cut out that mindset. Like, we don't need that. This is where your focus needs to be from what you told me. You told me XYZ. This is the eyes on the prize. That's the kind of friendship I am. And I feel like that's something that we need a little bit more of in society. It's one thing to say that you're going to do something, but do people actually feel it? Do you actually follow through on your word? And that's something I really had to come to terms with a couple months ago, where I would say yes to something and then I didn't have enough energy to do it. And I had to think about, like, how is that feeling for my friends? Like, if I said that I was going to go somewhere, like, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to go somewhere. And then if I can't, I also want to show that I care and support in any way. So an example of this is I started really being disciplined with how I said yes to things. I would say, maybe I'm going to let you know, just because I have a really busy week, I have X, Y, and Z, like, let me get back to you on that one. So if I'm not able to do it, I didn't say yes, and I'm not coming back from my word. When I do say yes, I show up no matter how I feel, and I'm always so grateful that I do, because even if I'm a little tired, even if I had a late night with work or something like that, I always feel so much better by the people I surround myself with. But there's still going to be circumstances where maybe you have to say no for your wellness and well-being. And I think that this is actually honoring your friendships, because I only want to give my friends 120% of me. So if I'm in a bad state, a bad mood, I'm starving, like anything could be going on, I don't want to bring it to them. So a perfect example of this was my check-in with my coach, Annie. Like, I was not really feeling good. I had a headache. I had a migraine. I was late on 75 hard things. And I messaged her. I was like, hey girl, I've never done this, but like, is there any way we can push my check-in response? I will get it done first thing when I wake up Monday morning, because I know she does them on Monday. But I was like, I don't want to give you this energy. And my friend was like, wow, that's really honoring of you. That's nice that you thought of her in that way. And I was like, yeah, like, I, one, care a lot about my check-in. I care about my progress. And two, like, I'm not going to bring her this like gross energy that I'm feeling right now. Like, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to get my shit down for 75 hard, and I'm going to message her and be like, I'm so proud of myself. Here's how I worked through it. Another example is on Saturday, I had a really big day, and my PT was already like, ooh, Sami, I don't know about all this. Let's see how your body feels. And I taught yoga in the park in the morning. Then I went and taught yin and sound. And with yin and sound, I'm really just playing sound bowls, so it's nothing crazy, but I ended up bringing my meal prep. I was supposed to be there for my friend's event. She was doing an event from 2 to 4, and I just was so tired. My body wasn't really feeling great, like by midday, a lot of times I need to like lay down right now. Like, that's what my body needs, still healing from my herniations, being 4 months post car accident. And especially if I taught an entire yoga class, it was outside, and then taught another one. I didn't eat yet. I brought my meal prep. Well, next thing I know, my meal prep is all over the floor. And I'm like, okay. And my friend walked in, and she rents out a room. She does facials and a ton of good, juicy skincare and health care at Flow. And, I'm trying to clean it up, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I have to go to my friend's thing, and it's here, and she already saw me, and I don't have any food. And she was like, Sami, like, one, I'm going to help you clean it up. And she did, which was the sweetest thing. I gave her the biggest hug today when I saw her. And I was like, thank you so much for guiding me through my crash out. And two, she was like, any friend is going to understand. Like, clearly your food's all over the floor. You're hangry and you're in pain, girl. Like, go home. And that's when I ended up calling my friend because she was talking to me about astrology. And I was like, girl, I dropped my meal prep. And she was like, I'm going to bring you meal prep. And then she ended up last minute coming over. We just hung out by the pool. By the end of the day, I felt so much better. We had gone over our goals. We went over our dream partners. Like, it was just such an amazing time. And I had given my body what I needed, which was rest. There was no part of me that was about to show up to that event for my friend and like me be in that state. Like, no, ew, I'm not going to bring that energy. I went home and I cleansed it. And then I honestly made an even deeper connection with one of my other friends. And that was I didn't know. That was very surprising. That was like, oh, thank you, universe. That was a gift, you know? So by me choosing myself and pouring into myself just as much and pouring into my own health and well-being, I get to show up for my friends even more, even tenfold. And that's something that I want you to think about, because that is a part of maintaining and watering friendships. We always want to show up for the people that we love, but one of the best ways that you can show up for them is loving yourself, is taking care of yourself, of resting when you need to, of filling it with good whole foods. So many people that were outside were like, oh, well, you can just stop here, you can stop here, you can stop here. Like, no, I'm celiac. I wanted to eat at home. That was a really big intention, which is why I brought my meal prep in the first place, because I had eaten out the week before and I was like, okay, I don't want to eat out for like 2 weeks after this. Like, my body needs a break, you know? It was very important to me to make sure that I was filling it with whole foods. And that is how I was able to come out swinging on Monday, just literally crushing it. My clients are killing the Action August challenge. We're all still doing our damn thing. I'm on 75 hard, still feeling more motivated than ever, even though I absolutely don't know what day I'm on, because it's literally just a lifestyle at this point. And every day, I go to sleep so grateful for my friendships, for my connections. And we need people in our lives. It takes a village. I'm reading a book right now and it's called Living with Intent. It is by, Malika Chopra. I hope I pronounce that right. Malika Chopra. But it's been absolutely incredible. And what I was reading today in my 10 pages, she was talking about how it takes a village, how it takes you asking for support, how it takes you giving support, and just how important it is to have like-minded and true soul friendships and relationships. And I already knew that I wanted to do this for the podcast because I've just genuinely been feeling so grateful for mine. And like, you're listening, I love you. You know exactly who you are. I'm so grateful for you in my life. And it was just a sign, a little clarification of like, yeah, Sami, like somebody needs to hear this, because you don't have to go through life alone. You have people in your life that love you, that care about you, and maybe it just takes you sending them an extra message, you giving them an extra call, or maybe it takes you joining the program, joining Confident AF and being like, I'm putting myself in the room. I want more friendships. I'm going to join this free masterclass. I'm going to go to that free yoga class. Like, I'm going to say yes to that opportunity, because you truly never know, one, when you're going to meet your new best friend or somebody that's going to play a really big importance in your life, and two, they're so special. Life is just so much more fun with friends. Workouts more fun with friends. Cookies more fun with friends. Walks are more fun with friends. Movies are more fun with friends. Pool days. Like, I love being alone and I really enjoy it. But like, there is something just so spectacular when somebody you love leaves and you're like, that was just a great time. Like, that's how I feel every Sunday. I do a pool day with my friends from House of Gains. And like, we always say after, we're like, that was just exactly what I needed. Like, I'm just so fucking grateful for you. So let this be your reminder to share your gratitude, water your friendships, water yourself. And like I said, if you need a community of like-minded women who are chasing after their goals and supporting everybody, hyping themselves up, me especially being your number one fan, join Confident AF Collective, okay? This is the place for you to be. And or come to our monthly First Forum walk. We are doing an ATX Austin first form walk club for Confident AF literally every single month. It's the first Sunday of the month. Anyone and everyone can come. So come. It's a free event. Again, say yes to opportunity. Say yes to new things, because I promise you it will be so worth it. So if this episode really resonated with you, feel free to send it to a friend. Let them know how much you love them. Write a 5-star review if it feels like it was earned. Maybe share it with somebody that you know needs to hear this. It's the way that we grow the show. And at the end of the day, our intention here for Sami's Spiritual Secrets is to really just positively impact as many people as possible and help the collective just grow and rise and be in our best timeline so that we can all be living our happiest, healthiest, hottest lives. Like, that sounds fucking amazing to me. Does it sound good to you? Yeah? Okay, good. I love to hear that. So thank you so much for tuning in to Sami's Spiritual Secrets. Remember, your power is in your presence and your magic is always within. Stay aligned, stay radiant, and I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye.